Bonjour, Pinamagin Ireland Indigenous, and welcome to this week's episode, featuring our Week 22 at a glance. We'll begin today's episode, as we always do, in our classroom stream. This is located in your students' Google Classroom, which is loaded on their Chromebooks, but is also available if you download the app, the Google Classroom app. They can log in using your sagechipschool.net and access this from any location within a net. Just as point out that I do have my contact information there. Students can email me with the academic or school questions, as can parents. Below is my Google Voice account. If you're going to call me and I don't answer, please leave a voicemail with your name and your student's name. And if you're texting, please use your name and your student's name so I know who I'm talking to. If I don't know who I'm talking to, I probably won't be able to say a whole lot. Please keep in mind there are certain conversations that are best via voice, and I won't necessarily, and I'll ask to call if it's something that I don't really feel comfortable putting in a text, such as confidential information. Looking down here, you can see some of our older content here. And you can find our January lunch and breakfast menus and a link to our school website. On our school website, you can see that there is a live feed. And if you're signed up for the app, you downloaded the app and signed up for the push notifications, you would have got a message reminding families that Wednesday was a half day. And this video is recorded on Thursday for Friday dissemination. That's why it says 21 hours ago. But this does make it easier to get important information. And if it's a cancellation or delay, then you don't have to wait for it to show up on a website or a TV screen. You have that information right there. If you access this page, sagechipschool.net, and scroll all the way to the bottom, there is a link to download the App Store or get it on Google Play. There is no newsletter this week, so let's talk about a few talking points. Report cards will be issued in the next week or two. I don't have an exact date, and hopefully by our next newsletter, I'll have that date, or the report cards will be on their way home. We'll find out soon. Once you get them, if there's questions, comments, or concerns, I encourage you to reach out to me. We can schedule conferences if necessary, although not required. And I can do those on a phone call or via Zoom or in person. Let me know what way is easiest for you and we'll work something out. The next point is classwork and homework is a fundamental part of learning and assessment. We do have classwork that we complete during the day that's either a practice of what we're doing or helps me see, did they understand the concept? And if they don't finish it in class, most times it's expected that it'll be taken home and completed. Homework is specifically sent home on Tuesdays and Thursdays, short assignments that'll help with developing those routines and responsibility will be necessary for success at the middle school and high school level. When you talk to your student each day asking about their day, one of the follow-up questions should be, do you have any homework to do? Kind of help them with that self responsibility and being able to say, oh, yes, I do. Sometimes they need a reminder, especially if there's something fun to do outside of school with. And none of these assignments are intended to be super long. And if they are difficult for a student, they can email me and I can see if I can provide some assistance, or maybe I ask them to just see me the next day. Another note, students do benefit from a good night's rest. As I listen to some of my students, I do hear them talking about staying up pretty late, way past my bedtime, and gaming, and then they're pretty tired in the morning. While everyone needs a little bit different amount of sleep, they're going to do their best learning if they've gotten the good night's rest for them. And that's going to help them feel better about themselves and about their day, and also going to help on the academics. And after numerous times putting in, hey, it's winter in our newsletter, I've given up. Who knows what season it is on a day-to-day basis. It's the middle of January and I'm comfortable in just a hoodie. And it's pouring rain as I came in this morning. Other years by this point, it's negative 270, there's 12 feet of snow. So each day, look out, see what the weather's like. If we do get snow, we do still go outside as long as it's not bitterly cold. So boots might be useful on certain days. Keeping gloves or hats here for them may not be the worst idea, so they don't forget it. If it's a day where it's 40 degrees, a good thick hoodie is more than fine. If it's a colder day, the students may need a winter coat. I am aware that some students don't love to wear their winter coats, but I'd rather them be warm. All right, let's look at our week 22 at a glance. Briefly, before we wrap up this video, you can see what we're learning this week. We're continuing some social emotional learning is the theme of our reading. Writing, we're working on a persuasive essay, and you notice that I do have some grammar listed in there. In the third quarter, I do want them to do a little bit more writing than we've done in the first 2 quarters. And these are ways to kind of check certain skills in smaller writes so that they apply them on the bigger ones. Math, we're going to be moving into fractions. Science, we're continuing with the solar system, and social studies, we're still continuing on with colonial America. Math review and enrichment does feature some of the things we've done earlier in the year, because I do like to spiral around. Students do better when we don't just touch on a topic in September and forget it again for the rest of the year. And I also add in some things that may come up later, like geometry, and sometimes students will ask for things like algebra. Yes, I'm not even joking. And we'll include in there. And you see our regular text stuff, our web block, that's online material that we can work on during the school day. Students can access these resources at home using the class Padlet. They're more than encouraged to do so. There's nothing saying that they can only work on Duolingo here. And that's a popular one. Words their way, their spelling, they can work at home. Some of them are a little less exciting and probably don't need to be done at home, but some of them are student favorites. You can see some of our small groups. There are smaller group material that doesn't show up on this document based on if it's going to be just several students. And as noted, you can see I do have the academic days from 8 to 3:15. There are office hours. AKA will be able to talk with you. It says Tuesday to Friday. Better off Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, to be honest with you, as Wednesday is an after school program, and I will only be available for emergencies at that point. Although you can leave a message, I can call you back after 5 on those days. As we wrap up today's episode, I hope everyone has a great weekend. Look forward to seeing everyone for a 5-day week next week, hopefully. As far as we know, the weather isn't looking too bad. But have a great weekend. I'm a P.